Today we are going to see Rampage. We will let you know what it's like, and we've got some rare sun, so I'm squinting. Let you know what it's like when we come out. As is usually the case, Isaac decided he needed the toilet the minute we got here.
Like a horse, a pregnant cow he just feed like.
So when we go, we're in the Galactic. 6, 9, 10 and 11.
Banana Rampage.
Banana Rampage.
Yeah.
Banana bomb.
Hi guys. We have just been to see Rampage with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, who Isaac is a big fan of from, well, you like his movies, he likes his wrestling, which he used to do. Shame he doesn't anymore. But anyway, I did know what it was roughly about. The basic premise of this one is Dwayne Johnson plays a primatologist that used to be, like, he's ex-forces, which is usually the case for Dwayne Johnson. They have to explain the mass some way. So he protects wildlife from poachers. And going about his work, he comes across I'm not giving away any spoilers or anything here, guys. This is sort of all put across in the trailer. He comes across an albino gorilla. It's only a baby, and its entire family has been butchered in front of him. I think they said that they cut off his mum's hands to be made into ashtrays, which is just, it's disgusting because it actually happens. Isaac's wobbling my selfie stick, if you're wondering what all the movement is. So Dwayne Johnson's character, he's called Davis, so I'll refer to him as Davis. He takes the little gorilla, who he calls George, and he raises him in a wildlife sanctuary. He teaches him sign language. It's like his character gets on better with animals than people, which I could totally relate to. He says a funny line that's something along the lines of, animals are easy to work out. If they like you, they lick you. If they don't, they eat you. So they're not complex, so that's why he likes them. So the gorilla...
If you want to see one of the hand signals, one of them is this.
Yeah. And, interesting piece of trivia, the hand signal that Davis, Dwayne Johnson's character, does to say his name is actually real sign language for rock. So there we go, there's a little bit of trivia for you. But the gorilla, George, has got a really funny sense, he's really good sense of humour. There's like little funny bits. I'm not going to give any of them away, but they did make all three of us laugh. Okay, so I had to go away and check for a word there, which is pathogen. A private organisation called Athena 1, I think it's Athena 1, have developed a pathogen which is meant to be used to... It never says in the movie if it's to be used on humans, but I would imagine so. Basically, for want of a better word, it makes things invincible. They regenerate really quickly, they are super powerful, they grow at an immense rate, but one of the downsides of this is, well, suppose if you're wanting to use it as a weapon, which I think is the case, it makes the subject, whoever takes it, extremely aggressive, violent. So this experiment inevitably goes wrong, as they do, and 3 samples of the pathogen fall to Earth. One of which is consumed by George, our albino gorilla and best friend of The Rock. One is eaten
a big wolf
by a grey wolf, and the other is eaten by a alligator. So that's as spoilery as I'm going to get, but if you've seen the trailer, it is in the trailer anyway. So the story focuses around Dwayne Johnson's character Davis trying to stop the inevitable disaster that's coming when these 3 animals are all in Chicago. Go to Chicago. I'm not going to say why or what happens or how we get in that position, but he's lost his best friend because George is unrecognisable. He's angry, he's aggressive. Whereas before they could talk to one another, they were friends. George was funny. He was quite human. I think as well, making him albino. I never know. I think we say albino in the UK, and in the US it's albino. I think the fact they've given him blue eyes instead of obviously the normal brown that silverbacks have, it's somehow, I don't know why, but I felt it sort of almost made his face look very, very human, not ape-like, but it was actually taken or based on, or loosely based on, a game series of the same name, Rampage, and the gorilla in that is not albino. He's just a brown gorilla, so no idea why. I forgot where I got to. What did I say? So yeah, The Rock's trying to save the world, save Chicago, and in the process trying to get his best friend back without having to kill him. Does he? Does he not? I'm not going to say. What this movie reminded me of a lot, when I was a kid, anyone that's old like myself will remember the original King Kong movies, and even the scale in the Empire State Building, and the sort of the army against them, and sort of feeling really, really sorry for the monster of the movie. And this is very much true in this one. Even with the aggression and even with the changed personality, you still feel you don't really care. This sounds horrible. You don't really care what happens to the wolf or the alligator, but you do not want to say, well, I was sitting watching it thinking, don't you dare do anything. Don't kill off George. But yeah, we all know how King Kong ended. I'll not say if this does. I'll not say if it doesn't. But it was really enjoyable. I really liked it. It was really good fun. Certain parts made you laugh out loud with how... I want to use the word ridiculous, but I don't want to say that as a slur, because some of the special effects, the special effects were brilliant, but some of the scenarios were just like laugh out loud impressive.
Yes.
What did you think?
I think it was really good.
There were certain little bits that Isaac really liked. There were certain little pieces of sign language that maybe pushed this up to a 12A certificate.
Yes.
That Isaac found rather amusing. You'll know exactly what I mean. If you've seen it, if you haven't, you'll know what I mean when you watch it. There's quite a few drops of swear words in here.
Yes.
We don't need any comment about what they were. The S words dropped quite a bit. The SOAB is dropped quite a bit. I don't think there's anything stronger than that. I don't think we've any F-bombs in here. I don't remember any. But it's a bit cheeky. It's a bit, you know... If you're really, really fussy about what your kids watch and you don't want them to watch anything with bad language and they're easy frightened, then this is not something to go see. It's not on the same line as like the Marvel movies and that sort of thing. They've sometimes got a bit of bad language in, but for the most part I think the violence in superhero movies tends to be very comic book style. And I think kids can differentiate really easily with that. But with this, I think some of the scenes with the monsters would be a bit scary for some kids. I think Isaac did look away a couple of times.
Yes, I did.
But he did really want to see it, and I think overall you did like it. You're glad you saw it. So yeah, I would really recommend it. It's totally what it says on the tin. It's funny. Its special effects are great. It's easy to watch. It's not going to have any depth to it. It's, you know, like it's a monster movie. It's a monster action movie, but it's really good fun, and it did really remind me. It was really reminiscent of the old type King Kong movies. I can't think of anything else. Who else is in it? Naomi Watts, Naomi Harris. I get the two mixed up. I will put whatever one up. I get them mixed up. And Alcide from True Blood, whose surname I'm completely impossible with pronouncing, which I will also put up. He's in it, briefly. Any other actors that are in it, I will put their names down the side above somewhere, because if I try to remember them, I'm not going to. So what would you give it out of 10?
5.5.
5.5? I was going to give it a 6, so I think that's... If you're judging it as an action... monster movie, I would give it a 9 out of 10, because I don't think you could have made it much better. If you're just judging it as a film, a standalone, I'd probably say 6.
But like the climbing bits were definitely 10 out of 10. Was it looked realistic when they were climbing, like all glass falling down, like bricks falling down? That was definitely 10 out of 10.
All the devastation that they cause in central Chicago. Very, very, very good, very realistic. Like I say, some of the scenes and some of the things that The Rock escapes is a bit like, no way, you know. But you're rooting for him. You want him to. You can see I've still got the back end of this virus. So yeah, in a long, convoluted, going around the houses sort of way, I'm saying that we both enjoyed it. My husband enjoyed it as well. He laughed out loud at quite a few bits. It was just a good fun film. I'd really recommend going to see it. So I think that's all we've got for today, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's over and out from Lisa Loves and Isaac.